got to talk about the Oscars because every year, the morning after the Oscars, the internet turns into a courtroom. People are making their cases, honey, all right? Someone was snubbed, someone else was robbed, and there's always at least one winner that makes everyone ask the same question. How the hell did this movie win? But the Oscars are not decided the way a lot of people think. There is actually a very specific voting system behind it. And once you understand how it works, some of these surprising wins start to make a lot of sense. So today I'm going to explain how the Oscars actually work in under 5 minutes. So let's get into it. So the Oscars are run by the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, which is made up of more than 10,000 professionals working across the film industry. That includes actors, directors, writers, editors, cinematographers, producers, composers, and many other different crafts. And an important thing to know is that you cannot just sign up to be an Academy voter. To become a member of the Academy, someone usually has to be invited by the organization. Many invitations go out to people who have built, long careers in the industry, and people who have been nominated or won an Oscar are usually often automatically considered. A person typically needs two sponsors from their branch of the Academy who are already members. So once accepted, that person becomes part of the Academy and can participate in Oscar voting. So because membership is based on professional recognition and invitations, that body often reflects the makeup of the film industry itself. And if you know, you know. But another important thing to understand is that each branch nominates its own category. So actors nominate actors, directors nominate directors, writers nominate writers, etc. So when you see that list of nominees, those names were largely chosen by people who actually work in that specific craft. Once the nominations are announced, the process completely changes. So during the final round of voting, most Academy members can vote in nearly every category, not just their own branch. But Best Picture works a little bit differently, and this is where things get a little interesting. So, Best Picture uses ranked choice voting. Instead of voting for just one film, Academy members rank the nominees from their favorite to their least favorite. So, if one movie receives more than 50% of the first place votes, it wins. But if no film reaches that majority, the movie with the fewest votes is eliminated, and those ballots are redistributed to the voters' next choice. The process continues until one film crosses the majority threshold, which means Best Picture often goes to the film that a lot of voters broadly supported, even if it was not everyone's number one favorite. So, another part of the Oscars people do not always see is awards campaigning. Studios spend months hosting screenings, Q&As, interviews, and industry events to make sure voters see their films and remember them during voting. Campaign strategy can absolutely influence the outcome. And finally, it's important to remember that the Oscars are not decided by one small committee. They are a result of thousands of ballots cast by professionals across the film industry, which is why every year we see surprises, debates, and plenty of opinions about who should have won. Because the Oscars are not just about which movie audiences love the most, they reflect what the film industry chooses to recognize in that moment. And now, when someone says a movie was robbed, you will at least know a little more about how the system behind that decision works. If you enjoy this episode, subscribe to the podcast and leave a rating wherever you're listening. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at takeitfromhere.media. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.